Some maps help you find places, others help you find power, and then there are maps that claim to show something far darker, a hidden system running beneath the world we see every day. A few years ago, an unusual image began quietly spreading across the internet. At first glance, it looked like a messy conspiracy chart. Arrows going everywhere, strange symbols, secret societies, intelligence agencies, banks, corporations, media networks, all connected by thin lines, like a spider's web. But the people sharing it weren't treating it like a joke. They were treating it like a warning. The image was called the Great Awakening Map. Some people said it exposed the secret architecture of global control, a network of power operating behind governments, behind corporations, even behind the news we watch every night. Others said it was the most elaborate conspiracy theory ever created. But here's the strange part. The deeper people looked into the map, the more disturbing questions started appearing, because some of the connections didn't seem completely random. And once you start following the lines, it becomes very difficult to stop. It began appearing on obscure forums, first places, where users normally discussed politics, hidden history, and secret government programs. One day a user simply uploaded the image without explanation. No title, no source. Just a massive digital diagram filled with hundreds of connections linking powerful organizations across the world. At first, most people ignored it. The design looked chaotic, almost impossible to understand. But a few curious users started zooming in, tracing the lines one by one. What they found pulled them deeper. The map wasn't just random words thrown together. It linked intelligence agencies with media corporations, global banks with political organizations, technology companies with surveillance systems. Some arrows pointed towards secret societies that supposedly dated back hundreds of years. Others connected to modern institutions that millions of people interact with every day. Within hours, screenshots began circulating across different forums, each user highlighting a different part of the map, like investigators studying evidence. Soon, the image migrated from underground forums to mainstream social media. Twitter threads began analyzing individual sections. YouTube creators started breaking it down piece by piece. Entire Reddit communities formed around decoding it. People weren't just sharing the image anymore, they were debating it. Was it a genuine leak, a piece of digital art, or a carefully constructed narrative designed to manipulate people's perception of power? What made it even stranger was the way the map was structured. Instead of listing information in neat categories, it looked like a giant web. Every section connected to another section, which connected to another layer entirely. Some areas focused on historical secret societies. Others focused on modern intelligence networks. And in the middle of it all were massive clusters linking governments, corporations, and financial institutions together in ways that made the world look less like separate countries and more like a single interconnected machine. The longer people studied the map, the more complicated it became. Some sections referenced real historical events, surveillance programs, political alliances, intelligence operations that had actually happened, that made the rest of the map feel unsettling. Because once you confirmed a few real connections, it became harder to immediately dismiss the rest. Comment sections filled with arguments. Some users claimed the map was exposing a hidden structure of global influence. Others insisted it was simply taking real facts and weaving them into a misleading narrative. Then something else happened. people started noticing that the map wasn't static. Different versions began appearing online. Slight changes, new connections, extra branches extending into areas that weren't in the original image. It was as if the map was evolving, growing larger every time someone reposted it. No one could figure out who the original creator was. The first upload had come from an anonymous account that disappeared shortly afterward. At this point, the image had already gone viral. Millions of people had seen it. Influencers were making reaction videos. Podcast hosts were debating it. Some treated it like entertainment. Others took it very seriously. But buried inside the chaos of theories and speculation, a few researchers started quietly analyzing something different. They weren't asking whether the map was true. They were asking who wanted people to believe it was true. Because whoever designed it understood something very powerful about the human mind. The map didn't just present information. It created a feeling that everything, every news story, every political conflict, every economic crisis might actually be part of a much larger hidden system. And once that idea enters someone's mind, it spreads quickly. People begin connecting dots everywhere. Patterns appear in places where they never noticed them before. The world starts to feel less random and far more controlled. But then, one analyst studying the map noticed a strange pattern. Certain sections repeated the same themes over and over again. The same organizations appearing in multiple clusters. The same symbols linking different parts of the diagram. It almost looked like someone was guiding the viewer's attention, subtly steering them toward specific conclusions, not forcing them to believe anything, just gently nudging them in a direction. That's when the biggest twist emerged. Investigators, tracing the earliest version of the image, discovered something unexpected hidden inside the file metadata. The map hadn't originated on a conspiracy forum at all. It had first appeared on a digital archive, connected to online communities studying information warfare and psychological influence operations. In other words, the map itself might not have been exposing a hidden system of control. It might have been an experiment designed to create one. And suddenly the entire story looked different. Because if a single image could spread across the internet, capture millions of minds, and make people question everything they thought they knew about the world, then the real power wasn't in the organizations shown on the map. The real power was in the person who understood how easily the map could shape what people believe. And somewhere out there, the person who created it was probably watching the reactions unfold, because the most unsettling possibility of all is that the map was never meant to reveal the truth. It was meant to test how quickly the truth could be rewritten.